Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Mutemwa. So guys, today's tutorial, of course, another retouch tutorial and also different color grading, because of late I've been doing different color grading, different tones, different colors. And yeah, if you've been watching me, you know I always start my photos here in Lightroom. And what I did, if I could show you the before and after, this photo was actually very warm, and of course I had to cool it down a little bit. And this is how my image looks before, when I shot it in the camera. And this is what I've done so far to the image to just make it look cooler and yeah, like more attractive to me, like more attractive. And this, I feel this will work to my color grading and to my retouching, and I feel it looks nice. And if I could show you a few things I did on this image, is that of course I reduced the exposure. The temperature is at 65-61, tint is at -1, contrast at +7, highlights -46, shadows +25, whites 19, blacks at -9, texture +2, and of course clarity +2, dehaze +25, vibrance +5, and saturation -2. If I go down here, you can see I haven't done much here on the curves because I didn't want, there was nothing to change with the curves. And also if I could go down here, I worked with the yellows right here. And also because our image was actually you can see our image was actually very yellow. If I could just click here and show you the before, so I had to reduce the yellows a little bit. And yeah, let's proceed now to Photoshop and retouch this amazing image. Of course, right click, edit in Photoshop. Yeah, so guys, now we are here in Photoshop. And what I'll do, of course, I'll crop this image to Instagram size. That's 4:5 or 16:9. So depending on which one you want. So 4:5 is okay for me. So say 4:5 and crop to the size we want our image to. We crop with framing, the framing we want for our image. So let's say that's okay. And before anything, let me change this foreground color to white first before we proceed with anything. Of course, now guys, we are here, we have cropped our image. The first thing I'll do, I'll create the frequency separation layers. Of course, Control J twice, textures, rename these colors. I'll disable the texture layer, then go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and I'll reduce the radius to -0.1, and I identify a place in our model skin where the textures are a little bit higher. I don't know where. Let's just press, see. I think our model has a very nice skin, so let me just push it up until I see the small blemishes disappear. So 6.4 is okay for me, and then say okay. Then of course, texture, image, apply image. And if you can see right here, our image is a 16-bit RGB/16. This is the bits of the image, 16 bits image. So what I'll do, instead of using subtract here, I'll use add. And also instead of using here, I'll put 2, then 0, not 2, and 128. Then of course I'll select the color layer and also invert here to get this gray, like when you're using the subtract frequency separation method. Then I'll say okay. Now up to there guys, I'm sure we're good. We have this grayish figure right here. Now change the blending mode to linear light. Perfect. Then create a black and white layer on top of this. and then now we're good. Up to there, I'm sure we're good. The first thing I'll do, guys, I'll pick my mixer brush tool. Make sure it's a very clean brush. Wetness of 10, load of 75, mix of 90, and flow of 100. And zoom in my image a little bit. And yeah, I'll start with this shadow right here, then this highlight, then this shadow, then the mid-tones. Then yeah, to get it perfectly, I prefer rotating my image. To rotate your image, just press R in your keyboard and you're good to go. When I was maybe a beginner photographer, or when I was practicing frequency separation, retouching the forehead was the hardest thing for me to do, and retaining the highlights, the foreheads, the four highlights on the forehead, it's one of the hardest thing I used to really fear a lot. But as time went by, I managed to understand how it goes, and you can see how we're doing it. Brushing the air and at least see how much we have done here. Let me zoom this in a little bit because of my sight is not so good, and then I increase the brush and brush this area like this, like that. Then of course I'll brush this visible area like that, and of course I'll increase the brush a little bit, and now decrease the brush and also retouch this line right here like that, and increase it, then brush it like this. That way I'm sure we're good. So then push it right here like this. You can see how I'm brushing keenly because I don't want to change the format of the face, and I'm retouching this picture upside down because that's how I can see the nose area, and also the nose sides and the eyes perfectly. So you can see how I'm brushing. I don't want to mess up any highlight or shadow, just being very, very careful. Then to bring back my image to the upright way, I just press crop and my image looks straight right now. If I could show you the before and after, let me put all this in a group. This is how my image looks before I did frequency separation on the forehead and some parts of the face. And now this is how our image looks right now. So let's continue. Our image is upright right now, and now let's continue with frequency separation. So pick your mixer brush tool, reduce to the size of the area that you're brushing. Make sure you selected on the color layer and push it this way, like that. That finishing, I'll show you how to do now the finishing and everything to make sure it looks nice. So I guess we drew with the face before we do the final touches. That's the before, this the after, before, after, before, after. Go down here, then now brush this area like this. Brush this area like this. Then just like that. You can see how I'm doing my frequency separation. Just when you create the layers perfectly, it's very easier to get the good mode texture of the skin, and yeah, just I remove these small blemishes after I'm done with the frequency separation. So yeah, let's continue. Like that, perfectly. Just this area like this. I'm reducing and increasing the brush size with the brackets, and yeah, you can see how we're doing it. Guys, if I could show you the before and after, before, after, before, after, before, after. So yeah, we are not done with this, with frequency separation on this image. So let's continue. I'm not putting so much pressure on the pen because I don't want the image to be so flat, but I'm sure it looks nice. Up to that level, I'm sure we're good. So what I'll do, of course, let me crop this because there's this area I don't want to show in my image. So up to that level, I'm good up to that level. Because now you can see what we have done to that image, the frequency separation and everything. I think we're good to go. What I'll do, I'll now remove the remaining blemishes, color grade my image, do dodge and burn, and yeah. But I have this one final step. I want to show you, if your model skin has so much texture, you can finish up by using this lasso tool. Just draw on the forehead like this after you have brushed your model skin, and also before you remove the remaining blemishes, just like that, and go to filter. Make sure you press on the color layer, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. This is like final touches and like perfecting the frequency separation, like to make sure the skin looks nice. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur, filter. Like that. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur, like that. And also, guys, if you noticed, I'm very keen with the highlights because I don't want to mess up the model's face, the shape of the face of the model, everything. I'm very careful with how I'm doing it. You can see our outcome. If I can just remove the remaining blemishes here and there, and our image is already color graded because I did some color correction in Lightroom, and that's what really helps me the most to reduce the work I'm doing on images. So this remaining blemishes, small blemishes, yep, to make sure the model skin looks perfectly nice. Yes, I guess we're good. Now the next thing I'll do, this is the before, guys, and now this is the after. The next thing I'll do dodge and burn on this image, then color grade, and our image will be ready to go. So now this time I use the curves, dodge and burn, and go to curves. select this picker tool, select this highlight here, and then raise it up a little bit like that, up to that level. I guess that's nice. Then go to burn, to curves, select your picker tool, select this shadow right here, then push it back like this, like that's perfect. Then what I'll do, I'll press inside this, let's call this bank, and let's call this dodge. Select on this color, the band layer, and then Control I to invert. Then this one, Control I to invert. Now let's start with the burning. Pick your brush tool. Brush tool, make sure the flow, create a black and white on top of this, like that, to identify the shadows and the highlights. And then reduce the flow to something like 1. Then let's just brush this shadow right here, like this. Reduce the size a little bit. Make sure it's a very soft brush so that it won't leave marks on the model's skin. That's perfect. This right here is nice. That perfectly like that. Yeah. Sorry. To reduce the size, use the brackets. Also to increase the left bracket to right bracket to increase, left bracket to reduce. Yep. I'm still working on my grammar, not on my grammar. So yeah, you can see how we're doing it perfectly. First of all, I'm dodging these areas before. Now let me pick the dodge. I was burning. Now let me, guys, being consider these things. Anyway, now I'm burning this area like this, like that. Like I'm dodging. Sorry, I'm dodging this area like this, like this. This area like this. Perfect. If I could show you the before and after, Control, put them in a group. Guys, this is the before, frequency separation and dodge and burn, and this the after, frequency separation and dodge and burn. Now I'll color grade with my color alerts. I'll just come here, select this color alert 3, and my image will be color graded. There you go. Full color grading in just by click of a button. If you want my lights, just DM me, I'll sell them to you. Yeah, and with that, my image looks nice. If I can just color balance and now push this yellow to this area like this, a little bit like that, and now we have a fully retouched and color graded image in less than 20 minutes. And if I put all this in merge and then come here and then select the eye and teeth whitening, zoom in your image, and also select the photo filter here and reduce the size of the brush, but make sure the flow is at 100. It's a soft brush, and just brush like this, like that, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, perfectly. Like this, like this. Perfectly that way. Yes, and we are good to go. That's a fully edited image in maybe less than 20 minutes. And if I wasn't explaining, guys, this image will just take me 10 minutes to retouch it. And that's the average time of retouching a professional image, and that way you can deliver to your clients about a very short time. And also, yeah, you'll be given good credits, and that's all. So thank you guys for everything. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next video.